Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Valheim series. Today we continue our adventures in Ashlands. Now, we did make some noticeable inroads in the previous episode, and I am starting to feel a bit more confident about our setup. Yeah, we've got to be pretty careful, and overwhelmingly I'm sure that we will get messed with pretty badly from time to time, but we're not going to get randomly one-shot by something anymore. So, strap yourself in, pop on your fire retardant underwear and helmet, and let's see what we can get up to this episode. Okay, I've just noticed a resource there that we need to get hold of. It will actually be potentially a source of a food-based item. The item in question is called Vineberry. It's a bit of an interesting plant. More on that later in the episode. But where there's one on a ruin, there's usually more than one. So we've grabbed some stone, we've grabbed our hoe, and we're going to try and see how far out here we can get without boiling ourselves stupid. Of course, the one thing I forgot to bring with me is a little bit of wood to make a workbench, but yep, this is what happens when you're playing Valheim and you get a bit excitable at the same time that you are disturbingly tired. So, it's going to be another one of those. Hopefully, we won't end up cooking ourselves. Alright, now that we have our workbench, we will have the ability to raise the terrain high enough that we can sort of walk around without necessarily getting too deep into the water. I am trying to get this bench under a little bit of cover. I mean, it's only timber, but I don't want my bench randomly getting cooked while I'm still using it. So putting it under cover just in case there's a storm is usually a good idea. It will improve its chances of surviving more than a few seconds. Alright, now that we've got that one down, we can get rid of this one, and we can now look at raising some terrain, and we might even be able to go over and have a chat with our old mate Munin over there, who picked the most irritating spot to perch himself, because we can't just walk over there without boiling ourselves stupid. Yeah, I had a bit of a quick look there and I thought, oh yeah, 12 vine berries, that's not too bad. And then I've realised, I haven't actually got any seeds yet. And then I remembered the drop rate for vineberry seeds is not fantastic. So I'm definitely going to need to loot some more vineberries to see if I can get some seeds. Once I've got some seeds, it's a bit less of a hassle because I can obviously grow my own. And with vine berries, you do kind of want to get them going as soon as you can. It's not that they're a slow-growing plant, actually, quite the contrary. They are very quick. The downside and the issue with vineberry is you're going to use quite a lot of them. So don't be shy with getting some going as soon as you're able. And yes, you are correct. I was mere seconds from boiling myself into oblivion again. Little bit of worthy advice for all the magpies out there. Looking at you, Oladino. Yeah, don't ignore your current environment when you're out here gathering vine berries, because you may end up boiling your gizzard quite frequently. Yeah, the old sticking the ladder to the side of the building trick works sometimes, other times not so much. The sound of stuff randomly hitting the shield sort of drew me away, and I wasn't sure if there was something out here actually, hurling rocks at my shield, or whether it was just a couple of lucky strikes from meteors. Turns out it was just a couple of lucky strikes from the, flying debris, so no emergencies there. Now, we have our vineberry seeds, and might be a little while since you guys have seen the farm, but as you can see, not a lot has changed. I've come out here. I had a few different places I could possibly have grown vineberries, but I decided to keep it with the rest of my normal crops. They will grow in a lot of biomes, so it's not really a hassle where you decide to grow them. Pretty much anywhere you can grow your normal crops, the vineberries will grow here as well. I'm going to try and get this set up, but this is actually the first time I have grown or tried to grow vineberries, because on Itchy's map, Itchy was doing all of the farming. So he gave me a few verbal directions while I was getting set up here, and I probably shouldn't have started until it became a new day, but when you got something new, you just gotta, get it happening. So, first step with vine berries is to obviously cultivate some land. Same deal with just about any crop, and vine berry is no exception. The funny thing with vineberry is, as you might have been clued in with the way they were growing in Ashlands, is they need a vertical surface to stick to, like to grow up, just like a real vine. And so there's a bit of a mechanic where you've got to plant them, but they won't grow properly unless you've got a wall at just the right distance away from where you planted the vineberry. And that takes a little bit of, eyeball and judgment, and that's the bit where I kind of wish I'd waited to start this at the start of the day when visibility is a bit better. Because as it turns out, the vineberries are not very visible at the best of times, particularly when it's a bit shadowy or a bit dark. From memory, that is a little bit too far away from the wall. But I'm going to throw in the extra bits of the wall. I'm just going to list out the mistakes that I discovered along the way. So If you planted that probably about a third of the distance closer to the wall, that would be better. The other thing is, they don't just grow up, they grow out. And they will grow out kind of one panel in each direction. So planting them close together like this is also a bit of a waste. I actually ended up having to destroy a couple of these because they were crowded and they wouldn't have grown anyway. Now, I got a bit clever. I thought I'll grow them on the back of the wall, but then I planted them too far away from the wall. This is even almost 50% too far away from that wall, so none of these were going to grow. And I ended up having to throw a second wall in, which meant I had to move all my beehives. So, yeah, it's a little bit of trial and error. If you're not confident, honestly, I would just plant one and have nothing near it. When it gets to the point where you mouse over it and it says it needs a vertical wall, place a wall. If you place it too far away, the message won't change. If you place it too close, it'll say it's crowded. You just keep adjusting the wall position until all of a sudden it will latch onto the wall and start growing vertically. So at the moment they all look healthy, but that's the first phase of them growing. It takes a little while before they change, and then they will say, you know, they'll either grow to the wall or they'll, you know, start making demands. Yeah, and that one has the message up. It says needs a nearby wall. So here I am building another wall, and as you can see, I can see about as much as you guys can see. It is absolutely pitch black. So I'm just, this is as much guesswork as anything else in terms of where this wall needs to go. But we're going to put it in. It's a little bit of trial and error. If you don't quite get it right and you're there at the time, you can easily make adjustments with your wall position and it's not going to endanger your plant. I can't say if that's true for an extended period though. I might do a couple of experiments with that later and see if it makes a difference. But at this stage, I'm going to say it probably doesn't. Alright, that's enough gardening for one day. We will come back to that in hopefully the next episode. I'll just show you what the vine berries actually look like now. And once you've seen how they grow and how they're spaced, it'll give you a lot better idea in terms of how to set up your own kind of vineberry plants. In the meantime, we're back here in our Ashlands, and we're gonna, you know, start doing a bit more exploring here. We can hear there's a lava blob over there, but we haven't been out this way, so we're gonna stick our nose over here and see what else we can find. Alright, we're just doing a bit of long range pew-pewing of another spawner. Reasonably sure most of these actually hit the spawner. I have a feeling one or two of them may have clipped the rock on the way through. We will go around there and finish that one off in a little bit. But as we've all experienced so far with Ashlands, you don't get to move more than a few meters before you have to deal with a new round of locals. And sure enough, here they come. Alright, just doing a bit of sneaky around here so we can get a better look at the spawner. Hopefully get a few shots into this one and it will go boom. And then there's a little ruin there that might have some more vine berries on it. So we will we'll clear those out while we're here. And a Morgan has entered the battle. I think it's going to be one of those sort of times. Oh, I know what was missing from this fight. Half a dozen charred as well. Oh yeah. It be lively in Ashlands. Yeah, bone mass buff. Don't leave home without it. Not gonna lie, I may have needed a change of underwear after that fight. Alright, these are the other ruins that you need to keep an eye out for. The ones that look like this, so they're kind of lower and flatter, they're the ones that you will find the fiddleheads in. And you will also often find there are divergers. And where there's divergers, they have similar stuff to what they have in their towers. So you'll find that they'll have little boxes with flesh in them and some other kinds of loots. So, when I say flesh, I mean soft tissue. So keep an eye out for those. The divergers, look, they had a rough enough time in Mistlands. Needless to say, they don't do much better in Ashlands. In fact, I tend to come across dead divergers almost as often as I come across alive ones. So if you're hanging around a camp for more than 5 minutes or it's night time, unless there's quite a substantial quantity of divergers there's a pretty good chance they're not going to last very long. Once they're dead, of course, you can always smash up their crates and get some more soft tissue. And here we have a little bit of reading with Rob for this episode. And I'm sure there's something in that for all of us. Alright, we are absolutely chock-a-block. We're starting to have to throw things away that we don't really necessarily want to be throwing away, so that's an adequate sign it's time to go back and unload, and that is in fact what we are now going to be doing. We're going to jump back through and have a bit of a look at a couple of those recipes while we're wrapping up the episode. If you've enjoyed what you've been watching, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more and you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Until next time, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Thank you very much for watching and have yourself an absolutely fantastic day.